So talk to me about the professional who's done everything right, built a team, hit the production numbers, earned the respect of their peers, industry, and customers, and yet somewhere in the back of their mind, there's this feeling that they just can't shake. What's that feeling, and why is it so common at the top?
Well, that's an interesting question. My perception, having been a top producing agent and team leader for many years before being solely a broker, owner, and operator, is that you just feel like your business is more fragile than it actually is. And it's easy to feel that way because, of course, you're only as good as your last transaction.
Sure.
And then you only have so many months out of a pipeline that's visible that you can see.
Right.
But if you're actually doing the work and reaching out to customers as you should and following through with all of the steps, it's inevitable that business will continually be able to be generated. And of course, there are some market conditions that are more favorable than others. But I did, after a while, learn to lean into the slower times and just enjoy. Mm-hmm. Because what I have seen a lot of even very successful top producing agents who have cash reserves and have made a lot of money and have been smart about putting it away. Whenever the cash flow dips temporarily for a little bit, instead of rejuvenating themselves with a slower pace, and maybe if you're somewhere that there's recreational activities, go to the beach, hike a mountain, whatever. Instead of enjoying, they're kind of like running this loop in their mind, stressing themselves out, like, oh, where's my next deal coming from? And if you're as you become confident in the process and that you're applying the effort and you're taking the right steps, just whenever you're served with an opportunity to take a little break, then take it. But that would be my guess.
Okay. So we know that real estate rewards production, right? But production typically has a ceiling for a lot of them, right? You can only close so many deals. You can only manage so many agents. What are the options that a high performer typically has when they hit that wall? And why do most of those options feel like a lateral move?
Great question. So, the answer to that is scale.
Right. Yep.
Scaling can be difficult and awkward for a myriad of reasons.
Sure.
But, I was faced with this type of a conundrum earlier on when I was a productive solo agent and then became a team leader. And so, it's part of developing a mindset where you're willing to be more generous to make room for people to flourish and thrive within an ecosystem that you create. So at a very simple level, when I was at that type of a crossroads, the average house in the market I was in was, call it about $200,000 at the time. Mm-hmm. So I decided that, I'm not going to personally get involved in any deals under $300,000 anymore to open up more capacity for me to be able to work with higher level accounts that I was seeking. And then I was going to enlist a person or two to help me that I could take on to help all of those customers that fell under that threshold.
Gotcha.
So that was an awkward decision at the time because I had built a business and I had a lot of referrals and a lot of contacts. And then whenever, I'd get like a $200,000 slam dunk listing opportunity, I'd be like, oh, this is going to be an easy one. It'll probably sell like the same week it hits the MLS.
Yeah.
But I really was committed to my plan, and I would tell myself that, Robert, there was a smarter version of yourself that made these rules whenever you were planning for the future that you're trying to create. So honor those rules that you put into place. And so point being, I could have kept the entire commission and just handled it, but I had enough respect for myself that I was going to stick to the plan that I made and then forfeit half of the commission that I could have probably easily earned. But then it did free up my capacity, and then my pipeline did fill with the type of business that I intended. And then it's just, you just move up to the next level.